This video is brought to you by Raycon. Yo, my name's Shrimpy, and I like to use markers. This is my collection of markers, and at this point in time, I've been making art and collecting markers for over 7 years, making countless artworks and growing quite the collection of markers. However, with the growing size of my collection, I noticed that there's a lot of colors that I genuinely have only used once or twice, and there's probably some I've never even opened. So that gave me the idea to make a massive artwork using every single one of my markers. But there's a catch. I can only use each marker once, so even if I find the perfect shade of blue, once I've colored with it, it will be banned for the rest of the video. So with those rules in place and a massive artwork to make, what could possibly go wrong? Spoiler alert, with this many markers, a lot can go wrong. So without further ado, let's jump into the first part of the plan. Now this might just be the most important part of just planning out what we're actually going to draw with all of these markers. So I got out my phone, opened Pinterest, and started scrolling to get inspired. I wanted to make something epic, something oh my gosh. That's the one. Almost instantly after seeing this pin, I knew exactly what I wanted to draw. The idea I had was me in this epic low angle pose, using magic powers to summon my collection of markers as they swirl around me towards my hand. And as a finishing touch, I had to include a little Shrimpy flying around. And with that, the first step of this challenge was complete. Now, our sketch does look a little rough right now, but it's gonna look fire. You just gotta trust the process. However, with our rough sketch done, it's now time for the second part of the plan, the colors. We need to make sure we use each of our 365 markers wisely, as we can only use each one once. So let's plan out how we're going to use the entire rainbow of colors in a single drawing. Hey, get that back. So I took a picture of the sketch and uploaded it to my computer so I could open it in Photoshop. Then I made little swatches of every color and started playing around with the color placement. I started off with Shrimpy because he's gonna be blue, and then started just placing random colors all over the place to see if I could find something that worked. And after lots of trial and error and tears, I ended up with this. Once again, it looked a little rough, but as I squinted my eyes, I could truly see something special being created. But with that, our plan was complete. Now, because I'm going to be using over 300 markers in this final drawing, and I can only use them once, it's going to be a completely different coloring approach and technique to what I'm used to, especially with blending, where I usually use each marker over 5 times each. So that brings us to part 3 of the plan, the test, where instead of using 365 markers, we're first going to see if we can effectively use 30 markers in one drawing. On this self-portrait I prepared earlier, which genuinely took me so long, like why am I so hard to draw, bruh? But I got out my sketchbook, my set of 30 markers, and the tub of shame, where every marker will be placed once it has been used. And with that, it was time to start drawing. It was actually really scary and weird to use markers like this. Only having one chance at using a color is kind of like playing a game on hardcore mode. But I focused on getting the shadows down first and just trying to make the artwork look colorful and fun without really worrying about realism. And this actually started out really well and felt really freeing, being able to use literally any color in any area. Oh, and watch this. But then I ran into an inevitable problem. Non-useful marker colors that don't really add anything to the artwork, like these ugly greens. But I ended up just using them to darken the other colors and sort of placing them in random areas that you low-key don't even notice them, but it still counts, trust me. But before I knew it, I had used all 30 of the markers, which meant our drawing was done. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. With this drawing, not gonna lie, it turned out alright. Shrimpy was looking good as always. Appreciate that, dog. But I wasn't super happy with how the face turned out, and I know why. It's because I just tried using too many colors on the face when I didn't have to. But that's completely okay because 1, it was just a test, and 2, because we're human and we're bound to make mistakes. Not every artwork can be perfect. Isn't that right, Shrimpy?
Nah, you're just terrible at art.
Filled with rage and sadness, I took notes on what to improve on from this subpar attempt so that I'd be ready for the final artwork. But with that, it was time. But as I got out the huge A3 sheet of paper, oh no. I had run out of paper. I searched everywhere, but no paper could be found. What am I gonna do? I had arrived in the art shop, and amongst their beautiful selection of markers and paper, I had found the exact paper I was looking for. So I secured it and drove home in the 38-degree heat and got ready to begin the sketch. Everything we have done in this video has led up to this moment, the 365 marker drawing. Now, not gonna lie, after the practice drawing didn't go exactly as planned while we were only using 30 markers, I was a little nervous of the big drawing, especially because we're gonna be using 10 times more markers. And to add to that, I was really liking the sketch and didn't want to mess it up. But these moments of uncertainty are what these challenges and being an artist are all about. Getting out of our comfort zone and trying new things where we don't necessarily know whether it's going to turn out good or not. But as I add the finishing touches, our sketch is complete. And oh my goodness, seeing the tiny concept sketch we made turn into this massive artwork is actually crazy.
But don't you be celebrating yet, cause it's finally time.
320 Ohuhu markers, 44 colored fine liners, and 1 singular gel pen, totaling to 365 markers that I can only use once. Everything we've done in the video has led to this moment, so in order to lock in for the coloring, I'm gonna need some music. This video is brought to you by Raycon, who were kind enough to send me a pair of their everyday wireless earbuds to try out while I work on my massive artwork, and let me tell you, they're good. When I work on an artwork, I'll often work on it for hours on end, so if I'm listening to music while doing so, it has to sound good and the earbuds need to be comfortable. And these Raycon earbuds do just that. They've got active noise cancelling as well as awareness mode, so if you ever need to hear what's going on around you, you can press a button and you're good. But with Gil playing video games behind me, I don't think I'll be using that anytime soon. They also charge super quickly with just 10 minutes of charging, giving you over 1.5 hours of battery. And I'm not the only one that uses them, as they have over 50,000 5-star reviews. That's like a lot of 5-star reviews. So if you're looking for an amazing and budget-friendly set of earbuds to help you lock in while drawing, go to buyraycon.com/shrimpy to get 15% off your order. But now with our music ready, it's time to lock in. Now this coloring was turning out absolutely amazing and I was so happy with how it was looking, but there was one tiny problem.
What?
I had been drawing for ages and I've only used like 40 markers. The drawing was looking great, but if I still had 300 markers to go, I really don't know if this challenge is going to be possible. What the?
Watch this. Not all of these markers are actually useful, so for every trashy marker, just use one tiny brush stroke and then put it in the double shade. Thank me later.
Wait. He's right. So I don't know if this counts as cheating or not, but I then got so many of these trashy colors that I probably wouldn't even have used and applied like 1 or 2 brush strokes with each one, and believe it or not, it actually worked. We now had over 100 markers in the tub of shame and I was feeling more motivated than ever, especially because now it was time to use the fine liners. So now let's fully lock in and finish this 365 marker challenge. And while I do, I have a super exciting announcement to make. So many of you guys keep asking me the same question: when is the Shrimpy Plushie going to come out? And the answer is really soon, because I'm partnering up with a brand called Gimme Swag to do a limited drop of Shrimpy Plushie. But I'm going to need your help. Because Gimme Swag will only produce the Shrimpy Plushie if we get 100 pre-orders for it, we need to prove that the Shrimpy Plush is worthy of being on their website. So if you want to have your very own fluffy little Shrimpy boy and make it a reality for everyone, make sure you sign up to the waiting list, which I put in the description, and on February the 7th, they'll finally be available for pre-order. But with that, we're now down to the final 10 markers. After countless hours of work, blood, sweat and tears, the 365 marker artwork is finally complete. Make sure to like, comment your favorite vegetable and subscribe, and I present to you my latest artwork, Shrimpy, the God of Markers. This is gonna take a while.